Hi everyone. This week I received a letter in Dutch in the mail, and it turns out it was from the Dutch tax authority, which says it owes me over 2,000 euros. In this video, I'd like to talk about what happened and what every expat in the Netherlands should know before they file their taxes. So hey everyone, my name is Lisa. I've been living in the Netherlands for now 2 years. Last week I received my 2024 tax return, so it's actually this little blue letter, and it caught me completely off guard. Before I get into my story, I want to give you 5 things that I wish someone had told me when I first started. Understanding the Dutch the Dutch tax system early can really save you a lot of stress and a lot of money from what I've seen. So let's get into it. Let's start with my first point. So if you didn't start working in the Netherlands on January 1st, there's a good chance that you might be overpaying your taxes in your first year. And you might not even know it. So I started my job on the 1st of February 2024, just 1 month after January. And the way that the Dutch tax system works is that your employer looks at your monthly salary and projects it across a full 12 months. So even though I worked for 11 months total, the system treated my income as if I had earned that salary for the full year. So that pushed me into a higher tax. Well, it's not really a higher tax bracket. It just means that they calculated my income higher than it actually was for that year. And the result is that I overpaid throughout 2024. So this means that when I filed my returns, the system corrected it and sent me basically a bit over 2,000 euros back and sent me some money back basically. So if you arrived in the Netherlands mid-year, even if it's just 1 month less than the whole entire 12 months, file your tax returns. You have 5 years for that, and it's really important that you file your tax returns because you might be getting some money back too. Okay, so now let's get on to point number 2. I want to briefly explain something, which is wage tax here in the Netherlands. So in Europe in general, in Netherlands included, your employer deducts your tax straight from your salary before it even hits your bank. And they automatically calculate that, which is very convenient. But if anything in your situation changes during the year, like your marriage situation or anything, your salary included, well, actually they adjust it if your salary is adjusted, then the automatic calculation might not be perfectly accurate. And that's actually why here you still declare income tax. Well, partially because of that. You also pay taxes on other things, such as, for example, I explained it in my other video about Dutch taxes, but you also have to pay taxes on what you currently own, both as assets, but also as just like anything that you own that has any value, including your checking account money. But basically, that is why you have the annual tax returns later on, because this is a correction that exists to compensate for if you are overtaxed or undertaxed based on your situation. And for many expats on the first year, you tend to be overtaxed. So that actually comes out in your favor. The point I want to cover is actually about 30% ruling. Okay, so this one could really save you thousands of euros every single year, and it's valid for about 5 years. So it's something called the 30% ruling. I'm not even going to try to say it in Dutch because I'm sorry, but my Dutch is archaic at best. Romanian here. This is basically a tax advantage in the Netherlands, which is offered to expats that are highly skilled, and there are several rules, such as, for example, living at least 150 kilometers away from the Netherlands when you arrive here, or start working here rather. And basically what it does is that anything above a certain threshold, it is taxed less than normal. And it's basically up to 30% of that above threshold part of your salary that can be paid to you partially tax-free. So the idea is basically to compensate expats for relocation costs. And as I said, you need to meet a certain salary threshold. So I think that right now it's above, I think it's close to 50k. I can't remember quite if it's above or under, but it's very much close to 50k. And basically the moment you start a new job here, coming from abroad, like I said, 150 kilometers away, your HR department immediately tells you if you qualify, and you sign a couple papers, and that's it. And the good thing about The 30% ruling is that even if you file a little bit later than immediately when you arrive, it is retroactive. I thought it would be fun as a point 4 to talk about how you actually file your taxes in the Netherlands. So that I know of, there are maybe 3 ways to do them. So first option is to do them as everybody else, which is basically using you go through the tax office, or also called Belastingdienst website, a Dutch tax authority website, and you basically have to log in using this app called DigiD, which basically you need your BSN for, and you have to immediately get this app when you land in the Netherlands. At least that's my advice. You'll need it for everything. But basically, once you're there, the tax filing portal is quite straightforward, and you just translate everything, because they don't have it in English, because here everything that's basically government related is going to be in Dutch, just to prepare you. The option 2 is that you go through a Dutch tax advisor, and this is a bit costly. It's between 150 and 300 euros typically. But if your situation is complex, honestly, it might be worth it. Yeah. And option 3 is another one. It's like using expat specific services like Blue Umbrella or Expat Tax, and they're specifically designed for internationals in the Netherlands. And Netherlands sport. It's interesting to me. Let's get into point 5. So what to do on day 1 that you arrive in the Netherlands, let's say. So this is the one I really wish someone had told me when I landed. Sorry, I have, again, my notes here. So here's your expat tax checklist from day 1. So first, get your BSN number as fast as you can. This is the most important thing in the Netherlands. You can't do anything without it, and it is the equivalent of a social security number. You need it for everything. You can't escape it. Second, get your DigiD app set up immediately, because this one you're also going to need immediately. I think you even need this one for setting up your bank account. At least I think I did. Third, ask your employer immediately about the 30% ruling if you're a highly skilled migrant and your salary is, and I mean brutto, so gross. If your gross salary is above the threshold, which is around about 50k. Don't wait, really. Fourth is, if you are coming from abroad, keep all your receipts, including the tiny ticket receipts or whatever from getting the tramway or the metro or whatever. Keep them all, because they might be relevant for your tax situation. Fifth, don't ignore letters from the Belastingdienst. I think that this is pretty obvious, but really, especially blue letters like this one, please be mindful to have them translated as well. They might be telling you that you're getting money back, like they told me. The Dutch tax system is not as scary as it seems once you understand a bit how it works. To be honest, I am still learning. As you can see, I wouldn't say play in your favor. You either are overpaying or not. That's just how it is. I'm gonna try and link my previous video on tips for filing Dutch taxes and getting you ready as to what to expect and what you will need. And if you're new here, this channel is all about the honest life of being an expat in the Netherlands, the good, the confusing, the expensive. Subscribe so that you don't miss the next one. And if you have any comments or you have something to add to this video that could be helpful to someone, write it in the comments below. Yeah? See ya.